Hello there, friends. It's Jimmy Maverick, and I just found out today that in my PPR league, I have been randomly selected to pick first. So I am going to do a mock draft today from the first position in a 12-team league, and we're going to see how it goes. We're going to use my app to help us pick players as well. So this, of course, is my app, My Perfect Fantasy Draft, right here. You can get it at my website, ffmaverick.com. I encourage you to go there today, check it out, sign up for a free account that will allow you to access the app, but I do encourage you to subscribe so you can get full access to the app and not just a restricted access on the free account. For instance, the PPR options we're going to have here are going to be locked up if you have the free account, but if you pay for the subscription, you can access this. So we are going to go, when you go in, it's going to ask you 3 questions, right? So the first question is, how does your league score points? We're going to select PPR. And then it says, do you want to engage Jimmy's recommended player filters? We're going to say yes. All right. And then we're going to enter draft mode. So this is going to break down the list based on the number of the players in the league and our draft position. So we know it's a 12-team league. And we know that we pick first. All right. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to enter draft mode. Now I'm going to go over to ESPN here and see if this is ready to load. It is just about ready to load up. And so as soon as it gives me the notice here that I will go ahead and enter the draft. This will take just a second. Any day now, ESPN. It's the longest 20 seconds in history. And it should pop in something that will let us jump into the draft right now. Still hasn't popped up. So let's just real quickly go over what this looks like. So here's your list of players, and you've got your position filters here, and here are the rounds of the draft. Now, because we are at the end, because we're picking first, we get to pick 2 in a row, so these are combined, so that we'll get 2 out of each of these picks, which is nice. Down here, you'll see the list of players, and the columns I want you to pay attention to are the value column, the outlook column, the consistency, and the reliability rankings. Those are the main factors we're going to use to find the right players. And you can see here that based on value, Antonio Brown is the best value pick in the draft because of the PPR status, right? Let's jump back here, see if we can get in yet. Yes, we can. So we'll go ahead and we'll launch that. And you can see here that this is basically all the players. This is just the top 12. Let's go to the first round. Okay, so we're going to click on the top 12, and this is going to show you all the players and that are going to be chosen between your first pick and your second pick. All right, so these are basically the first 24 players on the board, and you can see that instead of being sorted by their draft position, they're sorted by their value. So obviously with PPR, you've got high value, high volume guys right at the top for wide receivers, but we also have very good options as far as Le'Veon Bell, Todd Gurley, Alvin Kamara. These guys are all rock solid options, and we just have to decide, do we want to go wide receiver first and grab someone like Antonio Brown, or do we want to take an elite running back? And I'm kind of the mindset that I would like to take an elite running back to start this game off. Let's take a look and see how we're doing here. So we got a minute till the draft starts. But one of the things that you can do when you're looking at the app is you want to compare the value ranking to their expected draft position. And you want a value ranking that's equal to or less than the draft position when you're making your picks. So, you can go a little bit over, like, when we're talking the 5th ranked player scores just about the same amount of points as the 1st ranked player. There's not much of a difference there. We're talking, well, actually, in this case, it's about 22 points difference. I think we're going to have to take Antonio Brown with our first pick just because, and I think we will still be able to get decent options at running back with our 2nd and 3rd picks if we go that way. So I think that's probably what I'm going to do here. Of course, I want as much value as possible as I can get, and there's not many times that you get the first draft position. All right, so we're going here in 18 seconds. You can see all our players up here. Let's just go ahead and cue Antonio Brown, and we will take him with our first pick. Now, I'm sure there's probably going to be some people that are not liking this decision, but like I said, I'm going for value. I'm going for points. PPR, you cannot beat Antonio Brown. So we are on the clock. We're going to go ahead and select him. There we go. And so we have a bit of a wait until our next pick. So what you want to do then is when you go back to the app is we're going to click on the second and third round, and we're going to see what players are available, and we're going to find our 2 players. All right, so right at the top of the list, again, it's going to be heavy with wide receivers. You can see here wide receivers dominate. This is PPR. We could go with a second wide receiver here. Tyreek Hill is currently showing the best value that we're going to be able to get in the second round. But we got Mike Evans here, who I actually think I would like a little bit more, just because he is going to be a higher volume receiver. You got Diggs, Demaryius Thomas, T.Y. Hilton, Larry Fitzgerald. There's a lot of guys here. But what I want to do is let's look at the running backs, because we're absolutely going to need running backs. We're not going to want to pass on them. But you can see that their value isn't nearly as good as the wide receivers. It's just because they don't catch as many balls. But I see Royce Freeman here, which is a nice choice. I'm really not keen on LaShawn McCoy just because of the issues, his age, that team, the whole thing with that assault on his ex-girlfriend. It's just a bad situation all around. But one guy who I particularly like is Jordan Howard. Now, you can see here that his value is higher than his expected draft position, which is okay. It's not going to murder us, by taking someone like Jordan Howard, but to have a high volume guy that we can count on, it's going to carry the rock as much as he is, I think that's a great choice. Joe Mixon could also be a good option here. I just don't think that Cincinnati's going to be as good as Chicago is. That offense is going to be much more dynamic. And, Royce Freeman is attractive, but I'm just not sure if I'm comfortable with taking him as my first running back. But looking here, I do particularly like I said, I do like Mike Evans. He may or may not be available because his draft position is 23. We don't pick till 24. So, we could go running back here. That might be the best solution to my issues. And so let's look at the running backs again. And I think if I went with someone like Jordan Howard and Royce Freeman, that's a pretty nice duo of running backs to have for this PPR league. I can ride that through the whole season. No one else here is really blowing me away. So let's go back and see how we're doing here. So we still have a lot of picks until our next pick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this until we get within 3 of our pick. And here we are. We are back. It is closing in on our pick right now. Boy, I would love it if Devontae Adams somehow makes it to us. I don't think it's going to happen. Mike Evans is here. Gronkowski's here. We've got some options here that people are taking some players later than I would expect. So that is beneficial to us. It looks like, because if Adams somehow makes it to this pick, I will absolutely take him. Nope, he didn't make it. But Gronkowski is here. I got to say, talk about having Antonio Brown and Gronkowski, PPR. I cannot pass that up. So I'm going to take Gronk. He should have gone like 5 picks ago. So this is like a gift. And then let's go ahead and we're going to take an elite running back. Let's see here. Jordan Howard is still available. Jarrett McKinnon is just someone who I'm not impressed with, and I've already talked about Joe Mixon. So let's go ahead and take Howard. That's a nice duo. Look at that. We got Howard as our running back, Brown as our wide receiver, Gronkowski as our tight end. Boy, I got to say, this is going really nice right now. I'm very happy with this. So let's jump back to the app. And just to let you know, if you're not comfortable with leaving the draft board like we're doing here, just put my app up on your phone and you'll have full access to all these features. You'll be able to see all of this on your phone and you can run your draft through that. It's nice to have 2 screens going at the same time. But let's look at the 4th and 5th round and see what kind of players are available, who we should be targeting. Now, right at the top of the list, we got Juju Smith-Schuster, which I would normally love to take at this point. But, of course, we do have Antonio Brown. I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket there. We've got Duke Johnson. as a running back option, Marvin Jones, Greg Olsen if we want to go well, we don't need to worry about tight end now. We got Gronkowski. We don't need to worry about that. Aaron Rodgers, we could go elite quarterback right now. That would actually be pretty impressive if we have the number one tight end, the number one quarterback, and the number one wide receiver on our team. I would not be opposed to that at all. Marvin Jones would be a solid choice. I do like Chris Hogan as well. There are some good options. Let's look at running backs and see what running backs are available in this round, because again, they tend to get buried a little deeper because of the PPR format. So Duke Johnson would be a great choice. He's going to get the passing volume. His role in that offense. He's certainly not going to get usurped by anybody else. And who knows? Maybe Cleveland will be decent this year. I think it's a good chance. We got Mark Ingram here as well, who, even though he's suspended, I'm not sure if I could warrant taking a 4th or 5th round pick on someone like that who's going to be suspended for the first 4 games. But I'm thinking Duke Johnson, and if we went maybe Marvin Jones, I think that would be great. I think that would be a solid pair. Again, you want volume. We want points. We want people that are going to catch a lot of balls, and I don't think we're going to find anyone else which has quite that volume. Let's go back and see how we're doing. Still 12 picks to the pick, so I'm going to pause until we get closer, and we'll see what gifts fall to us as well. That'll also be something else to look at. And we are back with 3 picks to go till ours. You can see Marvin Jones is still sitting there, but he might be gone by the time it gets to us. You can also see there's a lot of running backs that are going this round. We're going to take one. We were talking about did Ingram get picked? I think he might have gotten Ingram. He is still available. I'm going to put him on the queue. I just don't know how I could pass him up. That guy will be an RB1 as soon as he comes back from his suspension. We are taking a chance. Obviously, this is our second running back, but we will get another solid running back in the next set of rounds. All right, Marvin Jones just went off the board, and you can see a whole bunch of running backs clustered up here. Let's look at the wide receivers. Who's available? Juju, of course. We already talked about that. I do like Robert Woods. I think he would be an outstanding choice as our second wide receiver. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take Woods, and I'm going to take Ingram. And I do like that right now. So next round we're going to focus. I think what we'll do is we'll get 2 running backs in the next round. I did see a couple that I did very much like. So let's jump back to the app actually. So we're going to jump to the 6th and 7th round here. Just kind of look at everybody that's available. Let's look at the whole list. Well, Marvin Jones, obviously, he was already taken. But let's see who else is here. We got Garcon, Cobb, not really thrilled with those guys. Benjamin, not really thrilled with. We already took a Ram. Crowder is one that I like as far as that goes. Cam Newton, I really like the idea of taking Cam Newton with our next pick. I think that would be an outstanding choice. But let's just look at the running backs here, because there were some good options. Tevin Coleman on a contract year, I think he's going to be an outstanding choice. You got Tariq Cohen. He could be this year's Tyreek Hill. That's what the buzz is right now. They're lining him up all over the field. He's going to be utilized in multiple formations. I really like that. And even Rex Burkhead, who I think at this point in the draft, it's risky, right? It's New England. We're taking him way earlier than we should, but he would also be an outstanding choice. Now, Tariq, of course, we already got Jordan Howard, so that kind of leans me against taking Tariq Cohen as well. But Tevin Coleman, I think, would be an outstanding choice. And we pair that up with Cam Newton. I think this team is going to be hardcore awesome. So let's jump back to the draft here. We got 18 picks, so I will pause it till we're within 3 and we can look at what's available. All right, we're within 3, and I can see, boy, there's a bunch of players that are just being ignored right now. I doubt Duke Johnson makes it to us, but boy, there are some intriguing options here. There is Tevin Coleman, and let's also look at the quarterback situation. And I'm gonna queue. Oh, did Cam get taken? Looks like Cam got taken. So we're just gonna nix that idea then. So let's go and let's continue to do the one running back and one wide receiver. Let's look here. So I hope Duke makes it to me. That'd be awesome. And I do like Sammy Watkins too. Where is Sammy on here? How come I haven't seen him? Because he's probably on the list going a little bit earlier than that. Let's see. All right, is it almost our turn yet? All right, look at that gift. That is an awesome value, man. Pick 72, we're getting Duke Johnson. I think that is a great choice. And let's go. Oh, and look, Rex Burkhead is still here. Shoot, I can't pass him up here. Let's go 2 running backs this round because we can still get some decent running backs for the next round. So let's go ahead and we'll do that. And so now we've got Howard, Ingram, Johnson, and Burkhead as our 4 running backs. That's a pretty solid core. Wide receivers, we got Brown and Woods. That's all we have right now. Gronkowski is our tight end. No quarterback yet. 10th round tends to be the sweet spot for quarterbacks. I can usually find a really good option. So we have time to wait on that. But I think this next round, we need to focus on getting ourselves wide receivers, right? So let's look at some of the options here. Now, Jamison Crowder is kind of my favorite. We'll see if he makes it to this round, but he should. I think he's a rock-solid choice for that offense for Washington. He's the most experienced and receiver on that team. We got Marquise Lee, not a great option. Rashard Matthews. See, these guys are dealing with injuries. That's what the little red cross is. Nelson Aguilar is another guy that I very much like. I think he would be a solid choice. He offers really nice value. Sanu also, again, it's PPR, so these guys that I normally wouldn't consider are suddenly much more valuable. Let's look at the whole list and see if anyone else pops out here that maybe is worthy of consideration. Come on, let's go. Show me everybody. Okay, so yeah, the tight end Ben Roethlisberger, not really interested. Stafford, I mean they're good, but I think, like I said, we can wait. We can still get ourselves a decent quarterback. So I think maybe Crowder and Sanu would kind of be my favorites. Nelson Aguilar is also an option. So what we're going to do then, and Sterling Shepard, that's another good choice, although he's not as good. His reliability isn't as good as these other guys. So let's see. I got 11 picks. I'm going to pause until it comes back to us. All right, so we're back, and I do see there's Jamison Crowder right there. And Kerryon Johnson, that would be a tremendous gift if somehow he falls to our pick. He is probably going to be gone, but I would absolutely take him if he is available. That would give us 5 running backs, which is a really great place to be. And maybe down to Sony and Kerryon. I would not take Sony though. He is injured. He might even miss the beginning of the season. That's why I was big on Burkhead the previous round. So let's see what happens here, because I think we're going to take one more running back. Oh, it's just leaving us hanging. Oh, of course, Kerryon Johnson got taken. Of course he did. Well, Sony Michel, again, we got Rex Burkhead. I don't want to take Sony Michel as well. Julian Edelman also suspended. So let's go ahead. We'll take Crowder. And let's look at the rest of the wide receivers and find ourselves a good option. So there's Aguilar. And there's Sanu. All right, so I think let's go with Sanu. And so that brings us up to 4 wide receivers now. So we've got Brown, Woods, Crowder and Sanu as our wide receivers. So that is pretty darn good. We will take a quarterback with our next pick. All right, so that's going to be our 10th round pick. Let's take a look. First of all, let's see what quarterbacks we can expect to get. So in the 10th and 11th round, we're going to filter by just quarterback. And you can see here Mahomes, Garoppolo, Rivers, Ryan, and Smith. That's pretty solid. I mean, of those, I would probably take Rivers. I think he's the lowest risk of anybody. Mahomes certainly does have the upside there, but I'm not completely sold on him. Same with Garoppolo. I think you got to go with the veteran, and that offense is going to be outstanding this year. So I think that would be a perfectly awesome choice for our quarterback. Let's see who else is available and see what pops out here. So let's see here, Deshaun Jackson. Tyler Lockett is a possibility. I do kind of like his prospects since Seattle lost so much receiving. They lost both Jimmy Graham and Paul Richardson from last year, so those got to go somewhere. Anthony Miller's getting some real positive buzz, but I'm not sure if I'm sold on him yet. Let's look at what running backs. Let's just filter for running backs and see what that looks like, because I see Devontae Booker. Certainly, he appears to be gunning for a role that would be, he'd be the receiving back. C.J. Anderson is another guy who I like because he took over Jonathan Stewart's role, and he's just on a one-year contract. Of course, his value is pretty terrible at this point in the draft. Booker at least has some positive value. I think let's just look at the wide receivers. So, and we got Tyler Lockett. So it's kind of like between Tyler Lockett and Devontae Booker for our second choice for this round. Again, it's not outstanding. I'm not really blown away by any of these guys. Sometimes when you get the situation where you're just not finding anybody that's really exciting you, maybe that's the turn to take a defense or take a quarterback, which we're doing anyway. But, you can wait and see, what pops up on the next round. And the next round might have actually better players. Like, for instance, there's Martavis Bryant right there. When you get later in the draft, it thins out tremendously, so you just kind of got to go with what the draft gives you. But I think that's probably the best route to go. So let's go ahead and pause this. We'll see if any gifts pop up to us, but I'll come back when we're within 3. All right, came back to us, and I just saw that Rivers came off the board early, which is very annoying. But, oh, look, Stafford's still on the board. I would love to get Stafford at this point if we can get him. Let's see if he lasts that long. But, again, there's solid choices here. I'm not worried at all. Marcus Mariota would probably be my fallback if somehow Stafford, Mahomes, and Garoppolo go in the next 3 picks, but I'm not too worried about it. This is much later than when Stafford usually gets picked, so this is a really nice little gift. So let's go ahead and we'll take Stafford. That's our quarterback. I don't think you could ask for a more solid QB1 than someone like Stafford. He's going to get the volume. And let's just go back and look at all the positions and see if there's any gifts here. Okay, there's Tyler Lockett, who we did like. And, there's some other guys here, some guys creating buzz like Michael Gallup and stuff. But I think I'm going to go with Lockett. I think he's got some significant upside this year. So hopefully we'll see it on the field. So we're kind of closing out we only got, 2 more rounds to go? Well, for us. So we've got 5 picks to go. All right. So let's go back to the draft, and we're going to look at round 12 and 13. And I don't like to take a defense and a kicker till the final 2 rounds. So we really want to kind of beef up here. And I do like taking the idea of taking Martavis Bryant with our next pick. I think that's a really good choice. Let's see what running backs are available, because there might be something that's interesting here as far as, the backup maybe, or let's see here. So again, Hines, Breida, Doug Martin, Samaje Perine. Now there's somebody who I would very seriously consider. just because we don't know what's going on in the backfield this year since Geis got injured, a season-ending injury. Oh, and look at this, Aaron Jones also. He's dealing with a 2-game suspension, but he was by far the most effective runner in the Green Bay backfield last year. Boy, he has just fallen down to nothing. Everyone's just like completely discounting him down to nothing. I think that might also be a good pick with some upside. So Pirine or Jones would certainly be worth the pick at this point. We're so late in the game right now. These picks, even if they don't work out, it's not going to hurt our team that much. So let's jump back here. How many picks do we got? Oh, we're on the clock at 2 picks. It's going faster right now. So let's all right. So let's go ahead and look at running backs. And Samaje is right there. So let's go ahead and take Pirine. And then for wide receiver, we can take, there's some actually. Cortland Sutton is someone who I have really been thinking about taking. He's available much later than he should be here. So let's go ahead and we'll take him, man. I like him. I like his red zone prowess. I think he could do something on this offense this year. So, all right. And now we are into our final 3 picks. So we're going to take one more. We'll take one more running back, and then we're going to take our defense on this next round. So if we look at the 14th and 15th round, let's first of all look at running backs. And again, looking for guys with some high upside. Bilal Powell, certainly that guy, that could be a decent option. Available, picking super late. Corey Clement is someone who might be worth a pick. Donta Foreman if we had an injured reserve slot, but I wouldn't take him right now just because he is not going to be ready for the beginning of the season. He's going to be on PUP for a while, so we don't need to take up a slot for him. And then let's look at the defenses. Let's take a look here and see what defenses we could get. A ton. Look at that. I mean, Ravens I love, Chargers I love, Broncos, yes, Saints, yes, Titans, yes. I mean, all of these guys are pretty much yeses. So I think we will just take our pick when it comes around to us. And let's see here. It's got 9 picks, so I will pause it till we're within 3. All right, it came back very quickly, and now we're within 2 picks. So let's look at the running backs and see what we could take here. So there's Corey Clement. Boy, I really like that. Bilal Powell, though, certainly offers some set value. I think I'm going to go upside here. Let's go Corey Clement on this pick. I think that'll be solid. And this guy's taking his whole time to figure it out. This should go quickly. Now it's to us. All right, so let's go Corey Clement. And, my battery is running low, so we got to wrap this up. And let's look at defenses. And so we've got, let's take Ravens. They always are solid for defense. And then we will just switch it to the kicker. And you will see that even though we're going with the very last pick in this draft, we're going to end up with a solid kicker in the end. All right, and we're just going to close this thing out. You can see that there are great choices as far as our kickers go. I, of course, am partial to Mason Crosby because I went to University of Colorado and go Buffs, so I'm probably going to end up taking him. But, Vinatieri, Gano, Suckup, all these guys are going to do just fine for your team, and you never need to spend more than a last round pick on these guys. What I like to say is, find a guy on a good offense that plays in a dome. Mason Crosby plays on a good offense. He's not in a dome, but you know what? It is good enough for me, so that is who I'm going to take. So let's kind of review our team, all right? So quarterback, Stafford. Our running backs are Howard, Ingram, Duke Johnson, Rex Burkhead, and Samaje Perine. And Corey Clement. Our wide receivers are Antonio Brown, Robert Woods, Jamison Crowder, Mohamed Sanu, Tyler Lockett, and Cortland Sutton. Our tight end is Gronkowski. Our defense is the Ravens, and our kicker is Crosby. That is a damn fine team. I'd be very happy to take this into the season. And let's see if we can get a grade on this thing. All right, and so I fed my team into the Football Guys Fantasy Analyzer to see what they thought about it. They think I am strongest, obviously, at wide receiver and tight end. For some reason, they didn't like my running backs and my quarterback too much, but I find it kind of surprising because I think they're pretty solid overall, especially for PPR. They gave me an overall rating where they say with great in-season management, 70% chance of making the playoffs. With good in-season management, about 55% chance of making the playoffs. So, again, better than average. It was a solid team. I'm going to run some more scenarios, though, taking a running back first because I think, I think you could probably end up with a stronger team if you go with one of the elite options like Le'Veon Bell. So, but that's where I'm at, and thanks for watching. I hope you liked it. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and of course, go to my website, ffmaverick.com. Check out the app. Try it out yourself. I think you're going to find that you're going to be making much better decisions on draft day with this app being utilized. So thank you very much, and have a great day.